Hello and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savita Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hi, and welcome back to another episode in our success series on the podcast, where we dive into the world of entrepreneurship, mindset, and high-performance habits. I'm your host, Savita, and today we are talking about something that can make or break your success, and it's called taking massive action. If you've been feeling stuck, unmotivated, or unsure of how to reach the next level, then this episode is for you. Why? Because success isn't about what you want, it's about what you do. It's about taking consistent, bold action, pushing through fear, and moving forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. So today, we're breaking down why taking massive action is the secret sauce to success and how you can start today. Let's dive in. So what is massive action? First, let's define it. We hear this term a lot, especially in the personal development space, but what does it really mean? Massive action is all about doing whatever it takes to achieve a goal. It's not about doing one or two things and hoping for the best. No, it's about taking consistent, relentless action towards a goal, even when you face challenges or when progress seems slow. You're not waiting for the perfect conditions and you're not waiting for motivation to strike. Hands up there, count me in. This is sometimes me. Instead, you act regardless of the circumstances. Here's the truth. When you take massive action, you remove the option of failure because you're constantly adjusting, learning, and moving forward. The only way you can fail is to stop trying. And that's what separates successful entrepreneurs, high performers, and leaders from the rest. They keep going until they hit their target. So let's talk about massive action and why it's non-negotiable for success, right? Why is it essential? Let me give you 3 reasons. Number 1, it builds momentum. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small. It takes a little effort to get it going. But once it picks up speed, it grows bigger and moves faster. And that's what massive action does. It builds momentum. Each step forward, no matter how small, creates progress. And once you have momentum, it's easier to keep going. Once you're at rest, it's harder to get started again. 2, it crushes fear and doubt. Let's be honest, fear and doubt are the biggest killers of dreams. We fear failure, we doubt our capabilities, and we overthink our decisions. Imposter syndrome, remember? A lot of people have that. But when we are constantly taking action, we don't have time to dwell on fear. You're too busy making moves. Action gives you confidence because you start to see results. Small wins that add up over time. Number 3, it brings clarity. Many people hesitate to take action because they're unsure of what the next step should be. But here's the thing. Clarity comes from action, not before it. You can't wait until you have all the answers before you start. No one has that, right? By taking action, you learn what works, what doesn't, and what needs to change. It's through this process that you gain the clarity you need to reach your goal. All of us course correct. We think it may be a certain way, and then, you figure out that it can't work the exact way maybe you thought. So you learn as you do, and you learn as you start taking action. Now that we know why it's so important, let's talk about how to take massive action. Here's a simple step-by-step process that I follow, I share with clients to follow, and maybe it'll be of help to you to follow. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Number 1, set a clear and specific goal. Before you can take massive action, you need to know exactly what you're working towards. Your goal should be clear and it should be specific. Saying I want to be successful isn't enough. It's just too random. It's too wide. Everybody wants that. But what does that look like? And what does being successful, if you had to break it down into parts, what does that look like? So you need to get laser focused on what this looks like for you. Is it hitting, $5 million in revenue? Is it being able to have X amount in the bank? Is it launching a new product? Is it about building a brand? What is it? What is it that you define as success for you? Write it down, make it specific, give yourself a timeline. Any goal needs a timeline, needs a deadline, right? SMART goals. Number 2, Break it down into actionable steps. Once you have your goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Massive action doesn't mean you have to do everything at once. It just means that you're consistent in taking steps towards your goal. Think about the next 2 to 3 to 5 actions you can take right now, this week, this month to move forward. Write them down and start there. Commit to taking action every day. Number 3 is commit to taking action every day. This is where the magic happens. You have to commit to taking action every day. No excuses. You have to follow a diet. You have to follow a diet every day. It doesn't matter if you're tired, scared, or you don't feel like it. You act anyway. Make a decision and go all in. Create a routine where you dedicate a specific amount of time each day to your goal, even if it's just 30 minutes. That consistent effort will pay off over time. Number 4, track your progress. It's important to track your actions and progress. This gives you a sense of accomplishment and keeps you accountable. You want to know how much money is there in the bank, you've got to check your bank statement every month. You've got to check your your debits and credits and all of that, right? So same way, if something isn't working, you'll see it and you can adjust and course correct. But if you're not tracking your actions, it's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere, or on the flip side, to feel like you're doing a lot. And then when you check in, you realize that, hey, I've still got so much to do, right? So write down your actions daily or weekly and set up a time when you're going to review it, check in with yourself. It can be something that you do weekly, but do so, review them regularly. Number 5, surround yourself with accountability. Taking massive action isn't easy, and sometimes we need that extra push, whether at the gym, whether at work, elsewhere, right? That's why it's so important to have accountability, whether it's a mentor or a coach like yours truly, or a mastermind group, or a group of friends, or an accountability partner. Surround yourself with people who will hold you accountable to your goals. They'll give you that extra nudge when you need it the most. And always committing to someone outside of yourself is a huge thing, right? Because you don't want to let someone else down, or you don't want to be looking like a loser in front of someone else. And therefore, when you commit to someone else and you guys stay in touch and you stay accountable and focus on that goal, it usually works for you. It falls into place. So those are my 5 steps that you can use to moving forward and taking massive action. And of course, now that you're taking massive action, what happens next? Of course, taking massive action doesn't mean everything will go perfectly, right? Know that. You will face setbacks, challenges, and failures along the way. That's just part of the process. But here's the mindset shift. Don't see failure as a stopping point, as a full stop. See it as a feedback, a continuous feedback loop, if you may. When you take massive action, you're constantly learning, and every failure is a lesson in what doesn't work. So instead of getting discouraged, adjust your approach. Keep taking action, keep learning, and eventually you'll figure out the formula that works for you. Let me share a quick personal story. Early in my journey as a coach and an entrepreneur, I faced rejection after rejection. Like every day was like a rejection. Somebody said no. Somebody didn't want to work with me. Somebody didn't want to, collaborate with me on something. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't big enough yet. I tried launching programs that didn't take off, invested in strategies that didn't work out. But I didn't stop. I kept showing up, taking action, tweaking, learning, and pushing forward. And that's what brought me here today, where I'm now having my own podcast, coaching high performers, and helping women reach their full potential. So now, let's wrap this up by talking about the consequences of not taking massive action. When you sit on the sidelines waiting for that perfect moment, which doesn't exist, or waiting for inspiration to strike, which doesn't always happen, you waste precious time. You miss out on opportunities, a lot of opportunities, and more importantly, you settle for mediocrity. Success doesn't happen to people who wait. It happens to those who make it happen. So my challenge to you is this: stop waiting, stop doubting, and start taking massive action today. Whether it's making that sales call, launching that product, or simply showing up on social media, take action now and keep going until you get the result you want. With that, thank you for tuning into this episode. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to take that first step right now. Remember, massive action leads to massive success, and you have everything you need to make it happen. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, follow, leave me a rating. If you're on Spotify, hit the bell icon so you're notified when new episodes come out. If you're on Apple, leave me not just a rating, but also a good review, please, if you like it. And whatever platform you're on, please rate. And if there's an option to leave a review, do review us, because it just helps the podcast grow and reach more people. And then, of course, share it with a friend if you think it'll be useful to someone you know who needs to hear this message today. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep taking action. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavita.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram at successwithsavita and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.